Welcome to the future of GreenKeeper. This is the new homepage that will be the primary homepage after this growing season, but anybody can try it out now, and I would strongly encourage you to give it a look through the remainder of this growing season. You can do so by clicking these 4 cards. This is a new card view, and that will bring up this new homepage in which we summarize the different data that used to be just all combined on one page into different areas. So we have a greens, tees, and fairways, and it's going to sort with the areas that receive the most applications at the top as the primary view. In this golf course, it would be the greens, to areas that get the least amount of applications. So below the weather tab, and we can also view a nice graph of the different weather data that's happening at our golf course there. But if we go below the weather view, we can see all the products that are having an effect on our golf course. We can view the fertilizer that's been applied year to date over the last month and over the last 2 weeks. We can visualize how our PGRs are having an effect and our DMI fungicides on the total amount of clipping yield suppression that we're seeing. And coming soon, there will be a tab on this card that will tell us an estimate of how much nutrient has been removed and total amount of clippings removed from our greens each year if you're tracking clipping volume. We have our performance tracker there for our greens, but what I want to focus on today are agronomic models. So there's 2 different types of agronomic models in GreenKeeper. We have weather-based models and we have soil-based models. The weather-based models are things like the Smith-Kearns dollar spot model, the Pests growth potential model, and the nitrogen responsiveness model. In this case, it's a bendcrest green, so it's showing me that response. In a blog post, we talked about how it's important to kind of keep track of, say, the Pests cool season model number versus the Nebraska nitrogen response model, because when the weather gets really warm, especially in the summer, we see that the Pests growth potential model goes really low, and that indicates that the plant is having a really hard time making sugar, but the nitrogen response tends to still be high. So in these periods, we start to see a lot of growth response at the sacrifice of burning through a lot of stored sugar, because the plant really can't make enough to sustain that level of growth. And so this is why we don't fertilize the grass that's heavily shaded, because we see similar responses. And this is also why I want to watch our growth rate in the springtime or in the summertime when it's really warm outside. The last one, though, I really want to focus on today is how do we add our SPIIO sensors. And so after you've gone to the My Course page and entered your SPIIO key, we need to assign those in-ground soil sensors to the different areas in GreenKeeper. And it's pretty simple. You click settings, and then we come in and we add the different settings. And so we look at the greens that we have at our golf course, and then we assign them to our holes and areas within GreenKeeper. And then we can set our different wilt points. And so maybe the wilt point on this push-up green is 15%, and it wilts, starts to be careful watching it at 20%. And we think after a heavy rainfall irrigation cycle, maybe it is at 35% with a salinity value of 0.3 here. So we'll save that. And then we can just continue to do this and add our different sensors. So let me add another one. So green number 7 from SPIIO, we will link to green 7 within GreenKeeper. Maybe this one wilts at 19%, and we watch it at 24%, and it becomes saturated at 35%. And again, we'll put in our salinity values there. And let's just add one more quickly. Green 14 in SPIIO is linked to green 14 in GreenKeeper. Wilt point again, we'll say 18%, near wilt is 25, and saturation is 35%. We exit now, and we can see all those different greens. We can see their current volumetric water content. If they're blue, it means it's at or above saturation. Gray means it's kind of in that range between the saturated point and near wilt. If it's orange, it means it's kind of in that near wilt range, but not yet wilting. And red would suggest that there's definitely wilt occurring on that green. And then we have the current temperature of that green there too. So after you post those, if we just refresh this page and go back to greens, now it's going to start pulling all of those average data in. It's going to average it over a period of about 3 days, what the moisture is and the temperature. And it's going to then start to run through different models for pests like take-all, fairy ring, large patch, crack ring spot, Pythium root dysfunction, crabgrass, Kalinga, different types of pests that rely on soil moisture and temperature data. And we can see that summer patch is being flagged right now. So if I open that up, I can see that all 3 of my greens are inside the temperature window in which we know summer patch could be a problem, especially if we had a lot of annual bluegrass. It's only a medium risk right now because the green has been on the drier side. If it was closer to that saturation point, it would suggest that there's a higher risk of disease. Another reason it says at risk is because we haven't applied a product that controls summer patch. And so it's alerting us that we are under the significant pressure right now or medium pressure, but we don't have any pest control down to protect ourselves. If we did have a fungicide down that was applied recently and still active, that is controlling summer patch, it would then say protected here, just like it does for the dollar spot model and the agronomic models. So we can, again, edit these. We can pick which pests, we might think that we're not really worried about crabgrass or clinga or different types of diseases in bentgrass greens. And so we can turn those on and off. We can also set thresholds if the models allow. And so, with these types of features, I think it just helps our managers stay one step ahead of the different pests, especially these soil-based pests that can sometimes catch us by surprise. So we're really excited about the changes coming to GreenKeeper. There's a lot more in store for the 2022 growing season. We thank all of our clients for using GreenKeeper. And if you're interested in learning more about GreenKeeper, visit our app at greenkeeperapp.com.